SVG's Jason Dackman here. We're with a good friend of SVG, Brad Cheney of Fox Sports. Brad, thanks for taking the time, man.
Great to see you, my friend.
So you are really passionate about something that's happening in the industry right now, and that's the proposed spectrum auction by the government that's going to severely impact the way that live sports broadcasters do business. First and foremost, for those that aren't familiar, what's the situation? What's happening right now in terms of this auction?
So look, there's a lot happening in Spectrum, and Spectrum really has become that piece of the puzzle that is invisible to everyone, how ubiquitous it's been, and also to the changes that have happened over the last 10 years. And the amount of spectrum that we're using to do wireless communications and cameras and video and audio and all of those things has modified itself so well over the last couple of years that it's just become like a wire. And that wire is being pulled away from us from that side. And so those pieces of connectivity that we've had are important to how we do our business and how we drive business going forward to proliferate all of the different mediums we have to serve from our master set. So from that side, in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, came out a concept of auctioning off the upper C-band. So 180 megahertz of spectrum that they want to auction off, a minimum of 100 of it to be given out and done, but the ability to take the whole slice from that side. And so really that impact is determinant of the auction coming up. And so unlike the first auction, which was lower C-band, where we were just taking and going, okay, let's use technology to pack things in a little denser, make things a little more seamless, you can do those things and you can meet a pretty decent timeline to do so. When you then remove the entire thing or a large portion of it, and there's a portion at which you go, is it 120 megahertz? Is it 140? Where's the stopping point where you go, it's just not feasible for any of us to survive in that little amount of bandwidth that's left?
Sure.
And so that challenge that's out there is really incumbent upon what the satellite operators can do technologically, which we don't know yet. And we're working with them day in and day out to try and figure this out. And, you know, by January 5th, we have to have our comments into the FCC about the notice of proposed rulemaking to go out and understand what that piece of the puzzle is going to be and what they're then going to work on in the next 6 months to figure out an actual auction plan. And then we have to see what the people who want to buy spectrum are going to be willing to buy. And it's really good spectrum, and it'll pay. But part of the process has to be is that if we're going to lose it all, it's not like last time you go, okay, it's a technological change, it's only for these groups of people. It affects literally everyone. It's every Earth station. It's every portable Earth station.
Yeah.
It's every bit of this puzzle about what we do and how we do it going forward. And because it's not a like for like scenario, it's proving those points and understanding how that's going to affect your business, because it is like for like. What is your backup going to be? What's your primary going to be to get an event from a venue to your broadcast center? And then how are you going to redistribute it to everybody else that's out there? And so there's a lot of questions to be answered, and there's a lot of things that people need to make sure they're following up on and understanding about what's going to happen in these next 60 to 90 days. And then as well, the wait and see period of what actually happens and what gets done sometime probably late summer, mid-fall next year, to give us that kind of statement of going, okay, here's what's left, and now where do we go forward?
All right. So in order to try to get your ducks in a row, for lack of a better term, you've joined the Spectrum Alliance, you're chairing it, and there's efforts being made to try to work with the government to make sure everybody gets kind of what they need, right?
Yeah,
that's what government's all about, is compromise.
Yeah.
Tell us about that alliance and what maybe broadcasters can do, aside from what you just mentioned, to prepare for what's to come.
Look, the main point that we've had when building the Spectrum Alliance was, first off was education. Telling people what's going on, giving them the ability to understand what's happening in this dynamic marketplace. We've had 5 or 6 different things over time that have come and gone. And the second one being is that as part of that is having that conversation with everybody about how do we all get together to propose to the government, propose to the other rule makers, here's what would benefit us as an industry. And the third piece is working on solutions to any of these challenges upcoming to figure out how do we together say, this is the solution that we want or need, and this is how we're going to get there to do it, so that we're not behind and waiting for somebody else to tell us, well, this is what you have left, you figure it out. And then you're on this compressed timeline that you can't figure out and fix. And so we're really in that zone of saying, no, let's talk about solutions today. Let's talk about the future. Let's figure these things out. Let's use best practices and find these people and figure out how we actually drive benefit from these changes instead of just replacing what we had.
Very cool. Well, being proactive is really all you can do right now. So, Brad, thanks for all the work you're doing. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jason.